Welcome to the Cutmaker Podcast, your home for all of your PGA DFS plays and wagers. Today we are talking John Deere Classic. And before that, make sure you follow us at Cutmaker Pod. Follow me at Cutmaker Jeff. And make sure you subscribe to our Telegram channel. The link is in the Twitter handle on the Cutmaker Pod bio. So, again, we're going to talk through, I'm just going to go through guys who are interesting to me somewhat this week. I'm going to go down in order of salary on DraftKings, and then I'll also mention sort of the best odds available on the board for these guys, and we'll just get into it. Denny McCarthy is the first guy I'm interested in. I'm not going to play Cameron Young this week or bet him because I want to see him putt better. I think certainly he can make birdies. He can make eagles. He could win a tournament for sure. He just has not putted very well lately, and I think that's going to be critically important this week. So I'm out on him. Denny McCarthy, interesting. Obviously, elite putter, good form. 7th at Travelers, 20th the U.S. Open, 2nd Memorial. Denny McCarthy, good play. I think he'll be popular. Projecting to be over 20% owned in DFS, but good play nonetheless. Russell Henley, another very good player in really good form, really good top 20 form. He's got a 4 straight top 20s coming in. This is obviously a lesser field, projected to be popular. I could see making a bet on either one of those guys, 14 or 16. Obviously not both. Expect both to be pretty popular in DFS for good reasons. Ludwig Aberg is going to be interesting because he's priced near these guys. He's obviously talented, but I might bet him if I would bet him before I'd play him in DFS. He's going to be about half the ownership probably of McCarthy and Henley. I don't know. I actually think he'll be more higher owned than that. Pretty popular. He's in my player pool. I don't know how much I'm going to have of Aberg though. Adam Hadwin obviously just was runner-up, co-runner-up, I guess, with Morikawa. Lost in the playoffs to Ricky Fowler. I don't mind Hadwin this week. Grades out really well. Good form. Good putter. I'm in on Hadwin. Eric Cole, I'm seeing him projected 11% ownership. I think he is going to be more highly owned than that. He is probably my second favorite play this week. I like Eric Cole a lot. Really good form. Just a lot to like here. Grades out actually number 1 in my model statistically. I'm going to be at least 50% owned on Eric Cole. Keith Mitchell. So I actually think that if every player in this field played their very best game, that Keith Mitchell wins. So, I think at his best, he is the best player in this field. There's some others you can make an argument for. For me, it's Keith Mitchell. Form's okay, not bad. Hasn't played in a few weeks. Grades out okay. Keith Mitchell's really good when he's at his peak. I think we can get him at single-digit ownership this week, given who he's around. And so I think he's a good DFS play. And actually, 35-1 is a good price for Keith Mitchell. I could see making a bet on him. I'm not sure that I'm going to bet him, but I can make an argument for it. Probably not going to because the guy I love, my favorite play in this whole tournament is Adam Schenk. Going to be wildly popular, both in betting and DFS. I think he'll be 15% or plus owned in DFS and a very popular bet for good reason. Schenk's form, 7th last week at Rocket Mortgage, was 7th at the Memorial. He's got 3 top 10s in 3 of his last 5 events. So Adam Schenk, great play, great course history, great form, grades up well in models. It's just a good play. And I think you can fade him, but I wouldn't overthink it. Adam Schenk's a terrific play. Taylor Moore, 9,400. Obviously played well last week, finished, 4th last week. I'm probably not going to play him in DFS. I'm probably not going to bet him, but I can make an argument for him. He'll be in my player pool, but I'm not going to really overweight or target him. Chris Kurt, interesting. Have him in my player pool. I'm not going to overweight him. He's fine. Nothing great. He's fine. Griot's really interesting. just won a few weeks ago. It does have a runner-up finish here. I think Griot could be a good play. I don't mind him. Seamus Power, another guy who has solid history here. 8th, 61st, 16th, 25th. Missed 2 straight cuts, but I don't really care too much about that. Does have 2 top 20s. Byron Nelson, Wells Fargo, just a few weeks ago, or maybe a few months ago. Don't mind Seamus Power. Alex Smalley, he's actually playing really well. I mean, he's 47th at Rocket Mortgage, 9th at Travelers, 25th in Canada, 29th at the PGA, 18th at the Wells Fargo. I mean, just good golf. Probably a good DFS play too. 40-1. I don't mind Alex Smalley. Jaeger, man, Jaeger's in good form. I mean, everything I said about Alex Smalley, you could say the same thing about Jaeger. He's missed 2 cuts here. So maybe if you're deciding between the two, maybe you lean Smalley just because he's probably going to be lower owned in DFS by a few points. And he's played better here. But other than that, you're just kind of splitting hairs. Ben-On, I'm out on Ben-On this week. Again, it comes down to putting. And he might be maybe a last guy in a lineup or two, but not a guy I'm going to be heavy on. Anybody who listens to this podcast knows I love Sepp Straka. Man, Sepp Straka his form's good. What a price too, betting. I'm going to bet Sepp Straka for sure. 55-1 is unbelievable price on Sepp Straka. I mean, 16th of Memorial, 29. I mean, just 7th PGA, 26th here a few years ago. Played here, coming in decent form. I am 55-1 on Sepp Straka in this field. Feels like a gift. I think that's at Caesars. In on Sepp Straka. Taylor Montgomery, our guy Eric Barnes is saying he thinks Taylor Montgomery is the best putter on tour. And in a tournament where this very well could be a putting contest, as many people have said, you want a good putter. So for the reasons you would, I think he's sort of a poor man's Denny McCarthy right now. Form's been okay, but if he can get it going and get the putter rolling, he can win any tournament. He hasn't won yet, but I think as this time will come, 66-1 is a good price. It's going to be single digit owned on DraftKings. So make sure you keep your eye on Taylor Montgomery. I think this is an interesting week for him. Nick Taylor, obviously won famously in Canada with a huge bomb a few weeks ago. Grades up pretty well in models. Pretty good history here. 3 straight top 35 or better finishes. Nick Taylor's decent. Kuchar, pass. Again, he's maybe in my player pool, but not a guy I'm going to be high on. I won't own more than 10% Kuchar. Doug Gim, really interesting. Rocket Mortgage, 35th. Travelers, 15th. 12th in Canada. 19th at Byron Nelson. 27th at Wells Fargo. 18th here in 2021. Tons to like about Doug Gim. Come in at single-digit ownership. 60-1 to win. I like all of that of Doug Gim. Doug Gim, good bet, good play. But actually really good, like top 20 play for sure. Really like Doug Gim. Hubbard, Jesus. Hubbard's missed 2 straight cuts. Before that, he was on fire. Does have a 41st here in 2021. Doesn't grade out super well in models, but certainly worth consideration at DraftKings. Chez Reavie, this dude is on fire. This is insane. I mean, 29th, 4th, 25th, 58th, 40th, 18th here in 2021. I mean, his wedges are just unbelievable right now. Top 30 bet on Chez Reavie, 55-1. If he's single-digit owners owned on DraftKings again, that feels like a gift. He is. People just don't play him, and I guess people think Reavie sucks. I'm for sure going to be overweight on Reavie. I'll probably have 20% Reavie at least. Michael Kim's interesting. Former winner here in 2018 was like 300-1 or something when he won. Form's pretty good. 38th at Travelers, 43rd in Canada, and then he has 2 more top 10s here within the past few months. So again, Former winner, then he missed 2 straight cuts. But I think the form is good. The ownership's going to be low. 70 to 1 is a good outright price. A lot of reasons to be interested in Michael Kim this week. And half the ownership of Brendan Todd. Brendan Todd's a good putter. Brendan Todd finished 18th here a few years ago. Form is not bad. A few missed cuts, a few decent finishes. They finished 8th at the Wells Fargo. I'm probably not going to play Todd because I'm going to play the guys above him and below him. But interesting nonetheless. Maybe a guy I could make an argument for. Probably not for me this week because, man, I'm getting back on the Dylan Wu train. We were on Dylan Wu big last week, and he was 250 to 1. I think we had him last week. This week he's 66 to 1. Grades out like 4th in my model. I mean, it goes Cole, Shank. It goes Cole, McCarthy, Shank, Wu. Like that's how high Dylan Wu is. Three top 30 to four finishes inside the top 32 in his last 7 events. 43rd here a few years ago. I don't know, man. Top 30 for Dylan Wu seems really good. And maybe just a few bucks I'm going to win. 66 to 1. Yeah, I like Dylan Wu. I like him a lot again. Just needs to freaking dial in his driver. His driver was terrible last week. If you can get that figured out, his putting's good. Everything else is good. Guy can make birdies too. I like him a lot. Aaron Badley's going to be like 0% owned, like 1% owned on DraftKings. And he's 250 to 1 to win, but he has like 2 top 25s. Missed 2 cuts. I don't know. I think Aaron Badley, like you play 5% on DK and you'll be double the field. So I don't mind Aaron Badley if you're playing a bunch of lineups. Peter Quest, guy was like a Monday qualifier at the Rocket Mortgage and then just performed really, really well. He's actually solid. I think he's a solid play. He's just good. Good putter. I just think he's good. And I don't think he's going to be super popular, 5% or less ownership. I'm going to play Peter Quest for sure, probably 10%. Svensson is probably going to be the most popular guy down in this range. Had a pretty good year, finished 18th here in 2019. So you could make a case for Svensson, 80 to 1. Again, probably lowest odds of guys in this range. Probably going to be 15 or so, 10 to 15% owned in DK. Svensson's just a good player. This is a good price. He's going to be in my player pool for sure. Carson Young, I love Carson Young. I'm starting to bet him top 20 every week. I'll probably bet him top 20 again this week. He's just a really good play, good bet. 100 to 1. I don't know if I'm going to bet him outright, but I will bet him top 20. Going to be single digit owned in DFS. Really interested in him. Chesson Hadley, I'm super interested in. Again, grades out really, really well in my model, like 6th. Top 25 here before. I think he's probably a great top 30, top 40 bet. Going to be super low owned in DraftKings, 125 to 1 to win. I'm really, really interested in Chesson Hadley. Higo, yeah, he's okay. I mean, you might look at him lower, just played well at Rocket Mortgage, finished 8th, has some decent finishes, made the cut here last year. Nobody's going to play him in DraftKings. He's going to be over 100 to 1. Maybe a good top 30, top 40 bet, and certainly a guy I think you want in your player pool as you're trying to play some of these higher end guys. Marty Dew is going to be like 1% owned. I like him a lot. Finished 5th with Byron Nelson, 17th last week at the Rocket Mortgage. I'm going to have him in my player pool for sure. Peter Malnati, the Mizzou GOAT, 9th last week. Made 3 out of 4 cuts here, 6,900. You're just really looking for him to make a cut, and I think he can sneak in the top 20 for you at 1% ownership. Love Malnati. Harry Higgs, the hero legend, snuck up and finished 12th in Canada a few weeks ago. I'm going to have a few shares of Harry Higgs just because I love him. MJ Defoe, I mean, he's been solid. I'm probably not going to have a lot of them, but I can make an argument for him. And lastly, Carl Yuan, really good, 2 top 20s, grades out well. I'm definitely going to play Carl, 6,800 in DK. I'll probably even play him some top 20s. He's in good form. grades out well statistically, just good overall play. So my pick to win this week is Adam Schenk. I like Eric Cole. They're probably 1 and 1A. Those are really popular plays, so I'm not really going out on a limb there very much. Longer down the board, I like Dylan Wu again. But if I'm looking at somebody 100 to 1, north of 100 to 1 to win, I mean, honestly, I would probably take 100 to 1 or higher. I would probably take Chesson Hadley. Yeah, I think he's 125 to 1. Throw $10 on that or so. I think you can do a lot worse. So that's a quick rundown. Odds, some DFS thoughts. Yeah, it should be a fun week. We're going to see a lot of scoring again, like we did last week. I would love to see another playoff. That was a ton of fun. So we'll enjoy the John Deere. So make sure you check us out again at Cutmaker Pod. Make sure you check us out on Twitter at Cutmaker Jeff. Join the Telegram channel, and everybody have a great 4th of July. We'll talk to you next week.